Now, it's come to my attention that I have an insane fear or dislike for the police. And a lot of people comment under my videos because I react to a lot of true crime stuff, a lot of police body cam footage and things of that nature. And a lot of people, they comment under my videos and be like, oh, why are you advising people to not call the police? Why do you have this hate for the police? Now, uh, let me explain something to you guys. I've had such horrible interactions with the police. And I know that a lot of people think that that's a cliche, like, oh, here goes another black man that's talking about him having trouble with the police. But I actually have real stories in which the police did me wrong. They did me bogus. The police accused me of crimes I haven't done. The police has done some foul stuff to me, even when I was a child, right? So today I wanted to do a story time about the time where I got pulled over by the police the first day that I learned how to ride a bike. Now, growing up for me was kind of rough. My mother died when I was 3. My father was a single parent. He was an older parent. He didn't have enough time to really teach us and show us a lot of things. So when I was growing up, I didn't know how to ride a bike. Nobody ever taught me how to ride a bike, right? And I went on, got older. I still didn't know how to ride a bike, right? So now I'm in high school now. I'm 14, 15 years old, and all of my friends know how to ride a bike. So I remember somebody gave me a bike, and I didn't know how to ride it. And I was too embarrassed to tell my friends that I didn't know how to ride it. But it was a situation where we were all going somewhere and we were going to take our bikes, and I couldn't ride a bike. So I just had to just come clean and tell them, like, yo, I don't know how to ride a bike. And they was like, what? You don't know how to ride a bike? And my homie Ian, he used to be my neighbor. Like he told everybody, he told his grandfather who lived down the street. And he brought me to his grandfather, and his grandfather was like, what? You 14, 15 years old, you don't know how to ride a bike? And I was like, nah. And then so we came out into the alley with the bike that I had, and he slowly began to teach me how to ride a bike. He taught me my balance. I was riding around in the alley for like a couple hours trying to get the hang of it, right? So I'm riding in the alley, riding. It's people looking at me. People looking at me like, damn, that grown ass. I remember this older lady was like, damn, that old ass baby don't know how to ride a bike. So people was looking at me and they was like, oh shit, this nigga, he 14, 15 years old. He don't know how to ride a bike. You learn how to ride a bike. And it was just so many people looking at me, and I felt so embarrassed. But I kept on going because I was like, man, I got to learn how to ride a bike eventually, right? So I'm riding inside the alley. Now, I get to the sidewalk because I finished practicing in the alley. So now I'm like, okay, let me practice on the sidewalk. So then I remember I exited the alley and I made a left and I started riding down the sidewalk. Once I got to the end of the block, tell me why the police come out of nowhere. They get out of their cars and they're like, yo, stop it. Get off that bike. Get on the car now. And I was like, what? So I'm scared because I'm like 14 years old, right? I'm 14, 15 years old. This is my first, I think that this was my first run-in situation with the law, so they telling me to go in the car, put my hands up. I'm like, what the fuck? Because I literally just learned how to ride a bike, so I'm like, what's going on? So they put me on the car. They started checking me. they brought some flashlights to look inside the grass to see if I threw anything inside the grass. And they told me, do you know that it's against the law to ride your bike on the sidewalk after a certain age? I forgot what age it was. I don't know if it was 14 or 12, but apparently in Chicago at the time, I don't know if this is still, like a law, but apparently at that time, once you got to a certain age, you couldn't ride your bike on the sidewalk no more. And I was over that age. And I told the police, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. This is literally my first day ever riding a bike on the sidewalk. Like, I literally just learned how to ride a bike. And the police officer looked at me and was like, what? You just learned how to ride a bike? Do you think I'm fucking stupid? And the police officer just didn't believe me. And that shit kind of hurt. And I was like, damn, the police officer didn't believe me. And then on top of that, he got me on the car in front of everybody. The whole neighborhood that was just looking at me ride the bike inside the alley practicing, they was all surprised, like, damn, what happened? And then I remember my homie's grandfather that taught me how to ride a bike. He came out there and he was like, let him go. Let him go. And there was other people yelling and stuff because, like, people were just so surprised. You know what I'm saying? I was the little kid, 14-year-old kid that was riding his bike in the alley. And now all of a sudden I'm being detained by the police, right? And it was, he wasn't committing no crimes. He wasn't doing no bullshit. We was literally, like, this is my first day ever learning how to ride a bike, and I just wanted to learn how to ride on the sidewalk first, because I'm obviously not just going to jump into the street when I just learned how to ride a bike. But the police and certain people that come from different backgrounds, they don't understand that there's some people who never learned how to ride a bike until they got older. Not everybody had the privilege of having a parent teach them how to ride a bike, of having somebody around to teach them how to ride a bike. People don't realize the privilege that they have, so they can't even fathom certain situations that people go through. And that's why the police didn't believe me. And yeah, man, I just remember just feeling so violated because they was treating me like a criminal, and I felt like I was being punished because I didn't have a mom, because I didn't have, like a younger dad who can go out there in the park and teach me how to ride a bike. Because I didn't have all of these things, I was being punished for that. You see what I'm saying? That's how I felt like. And yeah, that shit, that shit always stuck with me. That was my first bad experience with the police. And I have a lot more that I can get into in the future on different videos. But yeah, so when people ask me, like, what's your disdain against the police? Like, like, why don't you fuck with the police? Why are you so against the police? It's because of stories like that. It's like, being a black man, growing up in the inner city, we go through a lot of situations with the police that's just not fair. And we get blamed for a lot of shit. We get framed for a lot of shit. And it's like, goddamn, I can't just, when I go outside, I got to worry about the police. I got to worry about niggas trying to kill me. I got to worry about a lot of shit as a black man. And for some reason, people don't like to hear that. They don't like to hear the truth. And they, oh, you're lying. It's not that bad. People comment and they say that under my videos. I'm like, bro, like, you guys live in random ass cities and in fucking Ohio and fucking, y'all live in South Dakota and shit like that. So of course you're not gonna understand what I'm talking about. But if you a black man that grew up in a Chicago, New York, Atlanta, Memphis, cities like that, LA, like, you know what I'm saying, all different type of cities, Baltimore, Philly, like, it's a lot of cities that's just like Chicago where black men go through certain shit. And it's like, y'all just not finna understand because y'all don't deal with that type of shit. And that's all that I be trying to get my viewers to understand. But till next time, make sure that you guys like this video, comment on this video. If you guys got some bad experiences with the police, comment, let us know. What was your experience? What's your opinion on this? Do you feel like the problem goes beyond the police? I'm a restorative justice practitioner, and I believe that the prison industrial complex is made to demonize black people and to control black people. And like modern day slavery is real. How we only 13%, 14% of the population, but you go to prison and the whole prison is filled with black people. Are we being punished because we don't have the resources to get on our feet and to actually become good members of society or to become efficient members of society? Is that why we're being punished? Because we don't have the resources, because we don't have the support, because we don't have the backing, right? So it's deeper than just, oh shit, you broke the law, let's throw them in jail. It's it's real deeper than that, man. It's systemic. Subscribe to my channel, click that post notification bell. I got more vlogs, more videos on the way, more music, more everything. Love y'all. Take care out there, right? Stay safe out there.